They're almost quite similar to my skin color.
Exactly, yeah. Whereas the rest of Africa would be like me.
Okay. Are you guys happy in Africa?
And I'm going to say something that maybe you find hard to believe. The people of Africa are the happiest people in the entire world.
You know, I can feel the energy and the happiness just...
I've never been to any place where the air was as fresh as in this place.
Oh.
And this is actually where I took this footage from.
Oh.
Yeah, one of my trips there.
So the first one, is there electricity in Africa? The second, is there cars? And the third one, do all Africans live in mud houses?
Oh, now these are really interesting questions that you ask. And these, strangely enough, this is not the first time someone has asked me these questions as an African.
So you've been asked this many times?
Oh, yeah, more than I can even count.
Oh, so if
At
there
least
was
we know how to count in Africa, you know, more than I can count. So a lot of these questions have been asked by many people who are not Africans, of course. And I don't blame them for asking such questions because they are not, they have been fed lies over the years, you know, based on what they watch on the Western news outlets.
I see.
Yeah, so you hear the Western media say stuff like Africans are all hungry, we do not have cars, you know, we some even say like we live on trees.
Oh.
Yeah, I heard so many, you know,
and how, like, you know, you seeing these news being like of Africa being displayed as such, how does that make you feel?
No, I know some Africans take offense when they hear these things, but I really don't. I don't find it offending, but I kind of feel, you know, sorry for, you know, the people that spread these things, and the people that actually consume such information and believe it. I think that they are ignorant. Yeah, it all comes from being ignorant. You know, today the world is smaller. We live in a smaller world, and technology is all over. So one would assume that it makes it easier for someone at the extreme north to know what is happening at the extreme south. Yeah. Because the world is smaller. We've got the internet and all this. And you can even take a flight, you know, from London to, for example, Ghana, Accra. It takes less than 7 hours.
Oh.
Yeah, something like that. So I kind of feel sorry for, you know, people who think like that about Africa. You understand it? So I don't get offended. You know, I don't know how to put it. If I'm not offended by that, yeah. Yeah.
So back to my questions.
Yeah, like I'm dodging the questions. Yeah. I'm not dodging the questions, but I'm just trying to, you know, let you know how I feel about these things. I'm not offended by them, not in the slightest bit. But sometimes I'm kind of, I would say, you know, like I'm curious, like why would someone, you know, think that way? All right, so back to the question: if Africans live on trees, if we
live in mud houses,
is there electricity? Do we have drinkable water in Africa and all that? First of all, you should know that like any other society in the 21st century, 2025 today, this year, there's developed parts and there is underdeveloped parts. So even though most African countries are not developed, you know, there's developed parts. So there's, for example, if you come to Accra, which is the capital of Ghana, my country where I come from, you have places that are as developed as London.
Oh.
Yeah, you have places, you know, and you also have places that are underdeveloped.
Okay.
So you are going to have a place that looks as beautiful as the most beautiful place in London. And you're going to have a place that looks as ugly as, you know, the ugliest clip that the Western media will show you about Africa.
I see.
You know, so it is there. But the only problem is that in places like Africa, we have more underdeveloped places than we do developed places. So you are going to find it difficult to find a developed place that looks like London in Accra. It's not like it does not exist.
Okay.
It exists, all right, but it's hard to find it. It's not very common to find it. I think that's the best way I can put it.
Okay.
So Africa is very diverse, and like I told you, it's like we have over 50 countries in Africa. I know some of you think that
Africa is a country in itself.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry to say, and I feel a bit foolish to even say this, but it wasn't up till a couple of years back that I actually knew Africa was a continent.
Yeah.
So my lack of knowledge, yes, but now I know better. There are, like you said, 50 countries in
over 50, 54,
over 50.
I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've got Africa is it's one of the most interesting continents out there, because you have the northern part of Africa, which is actually made up of predominantly Arabs.
Okay.
Yeah, you've got like countries like Algeria, Egypt, Morocco, Tunisia. You know, they are not
As
dark as I am.
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
so they are
yes.
basically Middle East.
Yeah.
Part of Middle East.
Okay.
Yeah, so Egypt, you know, they are all part of Middle.
So they're half Middle East, half Africa.
Not really half Middle East, half Africa, but the world has categorized them as part of Middle East. So Egypt, United Arab Emirates, Lebanon, you know, these countries are considered the Middle East.
Yeah.
So even though, and that's where it gets interesting. So you realize that a country like United Arab Emirates is considered the Middle East, but it's also considered Asia.
Yes.
Do you get it? So a country like Egypt would be considered Middle East, but then it's also Africa.
Okay.
Do you understand it? So Africa is made up of, you know, it's very diverse.
Yeah.
So you've got the northern part of Africa that is predominantly mainly, you know, Arabs.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you've got the western part, which is predominantly blacks, or the rest of Africa is black. So the top is not necessarily white, but you know we'll put them. They are not blacks. I think that's the best way I can.
So they're almost quite similar to my skin color.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Whereas the rest of Africa would be like me.
Okay.
You understand it? So Africa is very interesting. And now you go to a place like South Africa, the southern part of Africa.
I think there are a lot of white people.
Perfect. Yeah. So South Africa would have white Africans, Caucasians.
Yeah.
Which is
are they considered Caucasians, or is it the?
They are Caucasians.
Okay.
They are white.
Yeah.
You know, like even Zimbabwe also has its fair share of white people. You know, so but they are Africans.
Okay.
So you know, there's this misconception that every African is dark like me, which is not true, because you have white Africans, Arab Africans, Indian Africans. You also have Indian Africans. Yeah, in South Africa, you have Uganda. You have places like Uganda and South Africa where you have Indians that are Africans.
I see.
Yeah. To answer your question about if we, of course, we don't live on trees. Nobody lives on trees in the 21st century. Africa is very diverse. Africa is developed. Africa is underdeveloped. Africa is rich. Africa is poor. Africa is beautiful. Africa is ugly.
Okay.
You understand it? And the same thing applies to Asia. The same thing applies to Europe.
Yes.
Europe is beautiful. Europe is ugly. We have the Ukraine war going on, making Europe very ugly. But we've got beautiful places like Switzerland.
Yes.
You know, Stockholm, Sweden, Finland, making, you know, Europe very beautiful.
Yeah.
So Africa is just like any other continent in the world. But I'm being honest here. The thing about Africa, I'm not going to make Africa look like, you know, it's perfect. I don't believe, first of all, I don't believe that any continent in the world is perfect. I don't believe that any continent in the world is perfect.
Yeah.
I believe that there are ugly and beautiful parts. So Africa is the same. Ugly, beautiful. You understand it? But the primary problem we are facing in Africa are our leaders.
Oh.
Yeah, our leaders are the problem.
So this is where it gets interesting.
Absolutely. You know, most of my videos that I make, if you have been following my videos, you would realize that I'm very critical of our leaders in Africa. I blame them for most of the woes that we are facing in Africa. Africa would probably have been the greatest continent on earth considering we have, most of the world's natural resources. We've got the most fantastic climate. We've got everything good.
Yeah.
But the only thing, destroying Africa is our leaders. Most of them are, for lack of a better word, corrupt. You understand? I don't know how else I can say it. They are extremely corrupt. Most of them are corrupt. Most of these leaders are corrupt. And most of them are actually, I don't know if it's okay for me to say this.
Yeah, I was going to ask, is that defamatory?
No, it's not about that. In terms of they being puppets to most Western governments.
Okay.
They are kind of doing the bit of, their Western masters. Do you understand? So that is Africa's problem. So if our leaders would stop being corrupt and do the right thing and serve the people who they are leading, trust me, 24 hours from now, Africa would be, I don't think there will be any continent as great as Africa. It's just our leaders, horrible leaders we have in Africa. And I'm not trying to say that...
But I believe that, sorry to cut you, I believe there were some good leaders that Africa had, like, I forgot his name, the current one.
Ibrahim Traore,
Yeah.
the Burkina Faso. Yeah. The thing is that if you are a good leader in Africa, somehow they will find, I don't know who, but somehow they will find a way to get rid of you.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know who does it,
Yeah.
I don't want to point fingers at, but somehow I know, but I don't know, if it's okay for me to say it.
Yeah.
But somehow they will find a way to eliminate you. You understand it? So Africa's problem, core problem, is not the people, the ordinary people. For example, someone like me, I have no control, I have no say what the resources of my country should be used for.
Yeah.
So that is why we elect someone. Okay, so we are going to elect you as president or leader of the nation.
Yeah.
So we put our trust in you.
Yes,
And that
do
is
the right thing.
to do the right thing. But you get there and you decide to do the wrong thing.
Yes, and you misuse the funds and sell things only for your own personal gain.
And your friends and family.
Yeah, while the people that you're supposed to serve are poor
and suffering.
And yeah.
So back to, so it's just our leaders that are the problem. But I'm not trying to say that it's just African leaders that are corrupt.
Yeah, I'm sure every leader.
Yeah, just like I was telling you earlier, I was saying that leaders everywhere are corrupt. From the America continent, the North America, South America, to Europe, to Asia, to we've got corrupt leaders. Are by virtue of the fact that they are leaders, they are supposed to be corrupt, or they don't have a choice but to be corrupt.
Yeah.
But the difference between the corruption in Africa and the corruption in other developed parts of the world is that the African leader's corruption is designed to benefit just him alone.
Yes, it's more of like a selfish greed, whereas like other, even say our developed countries, even though there may be some parts of corruption, but we do see that the nation is growing, at least there is development, there's progress. So it kind of masks the corruption bit a little bit, or like, of course, I don't want to get too political on this.
You are not being political, you are just stating the facts.
The monies are going back into society to make a developed country.
No, they don't actually, they do not have a choice but to let me put it this way. African leaders would participate in corruption that takes money away from the continent into someone else's continent.
Yes.
You understand it? Whereas other continents like Europe, the corrupt leaders in Europe will participate in corruption that brings money into their system. You understand it? But that doesn't mean that they are participating in this corruption for the good of their people.
Yes.
But automatically, the moment these monies are coming into their system, it trickles down to the ordinary person. So that is how places like Europe, developed places grow. So they come and see a corrupt African leader, give him some money, and he sells out, his continent and pockets the money. Yeah. And the worst part is that he doesn't even invest this stolen money in Africa.
Yeah.
He sends it to bank accounts in, certain parts of the world because he wants to keep that ill-gotten money hidden.
Yeah, for himself.
Not necessarily for himself. He has to hide it.
Okay.
And the best place to hide stolen money is, outside of Africa.
Yeah.
You can't keep it in Africa because they will find it.
Yes.
You understand? So they put it in accounts, abroad. So Africa is back to your question. I know we kind of drifted away from So back to your question. Yeah, Africa is ugly. Africa is beautiful. Most of the ugliness that you see in Africa is actually caused by the leaders we have elected. They are the ones causing these ugliness that you see, in Africa. And what are these ugliness? We have high unemployment rate. We have poor infrastructure, and things like that. So Africa is ugly. Africa is beautiful. Europe is ugly. Europe is beautiful. Asia is ugly.
Yeah.
Asia is beautiful. But certainly, we do not live on trees in Africa. You understand it? That one we do not live on trees in Africa.
Yeah.
Neither do we all live in mud houses. But the question is, are there mud houses in Africa? Yes.
So I believe that certain tribes still, am I right to say tribes, or
No, I would.
certain parts of Africa, there's people who are still living in mud houses.
Correct.
Yeah.
These are the remote parts.
Yeah.
It's just like when you go to, it's just like in Singapore, where you would see what we call the kampong thing.
Yeah.
You'll notice that the kampong buildings or whatever are different from the HDB
Yes.
buildings. So they are kind of rural to a certain degree.
But we don't have any more kampong.
Yeah, no, I was told that you still have some, like one or two. You still have some. I believe you still have some. On my last trip, I wanted to actually go and see some of them.
Oh yeah, I think there's like a tiny portion only, but I think it's like the far end of Singapore. Yes.
Yeah, so I believe you have one or two of them, which is something I really would want to see, because it gives me a picture of how Singapore was like, let's say 50 years back or 60 years back. Yeah, it's something I've always been dying to see, and hopefully maybe one of these days I get to see it. So it would be wrong for me to say that all Singaporeans live in, kampongs or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with Africa. So you've got these mud houses, you've got these, remote places where human beings drink from the same water body as animals.
Oh.
Yeah, it's there, but it's just a tiny bit of Africa.
Okay.
You understand it? It's not something that for example, I remember someone was asking me if I go to work riding on a elephant or something. And the weird part was that absolutely not, of course. And the weird part was that I'd never seen an elephant, believe it, until just a few months ago.
Where was this?
And that was in Thailand. The first time I saw, the first time, I'm not kidding. The first time I actually saw an elephant was when I came to, I traveled to Thailand.
Wow.
That was the first time. So it's not like,
That's so interesting. In my mind, I would think that you would be able to see more of these animals in their natural habitat in Africa. Yeah, as compared to any other countries in the world. For example, in Singapore, the only time that we can see, elephants and lions and all, it's all in the zoo. So we don't have that privilege of having land, massive amount of land to have these animals around. Probably the only wildlife that we have is the chickens that has been recently being released bit by bits, but they are all tagged, I think, and monitored in terms of where they are, and then of course you have your birds and your cats and your dogs around. But in terms of serious wildlife, we don't have it. Maybe monkeys, in certain places, monkeys and chickens so far.
Yeah, so Africans do not live on trees. We do not all live in mud houses. We certainly do not go to work riding elephants or,
I think it would be so cool though.
But of course, it's not happening in Africa. So that is one of the biggest misconceptions that people that are not Africans and who haven't visited Africa and who are not willing to open their minds, to learn, and that is one of the misconceptions that they have.
But so you guys have cars?
Of course.
Okay.
you know, we have cars, we have planes, we have sophisticated technology. Just that the only problem is that these are not widespread all over, you know, Africa, because, like I said earlier on, there are certain communities, deprived communities, that lack, you know, potable drinking water and good roads, electricity. It's there, and this is obviously a side effect or a symptom of corruption at the highest level.
Yeah.
I blame no one but the leaders who are, you know, making these communities deprived. Yeah.
So earlier you mentioned something about some villages that drink water, take their drinking water the same from the same area as where the animals shower and everything. So how does that work in terms of, like, you know, I mean, drinking water, it has to be kind of purified in a way, or do they not? There's so many questions, but I'm like, how does it work? Like,
actually, most people do not have a choice. Most people, not most Africans, mind you, most people in these deprived communities do not have a choice.
Okay.
And furthermore, I want to believe that they do not know the ramifications of drinking this polluted water.
Nice. Yeah.
Because of lack of education. Yeah, you know, so they think it's normal. Oh, you know what, it's not going to do us anything, you know, harm us. They believe it's normal. So they do not have a choice, or they are ignorant of the consequences of consuming such unwholesome water. So they do it, and they don't have a choice, like I said. So it's just one or two of them, a tiny fraction of them, who maybe have been exposed to some education or knowledge that would want to maybe purify the water by boiling it, you know, and kind of filtering it before consuming.
Are you guys happy in Africa?
Oh yeah, you know, happiness, I would say yes. I would say, you know, I'm going to say something that maybe you find hard to believe.
Okay.
Yeah, Africa is one of the poorest societies or continents. It's probably the poorest continent in the entire world. But ironically, I'm 100%, and I believe this totally, and anybody who does critical thinking would understand what I'm going to say. Now, Africa, the people of Africa are the happiest people in the entire world.
Oh.
Yeah. You know, that is the irony about the whole thing. One would assume that with poverty comes misery.
Yeah, and the amount of stress, and it'd probably be more than a developed country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's take this example.
I feel it.
You know, I can feel the energy and the happiness just illuminating from this video alone, just watching it. I mean, of course, these are kids, but coming from a developed country where I see how stressed our kids are, I believe that it's very much different from, you know, these kids, because these are kids being kids. They are enjoying their childhood. They're enjoying, you know, being outdoors, playing with whatever that they can find. I mean, I often believe, you know, it's strange, but kids naturally, they will be happy with even a cardboard box. You know, they don't really care too much about the toy that's inside. More often, I see kids playing with the packaging more than the toy.
Yes.
You know, in that, let their imagination grow, and like that's how their mind develops. And I'm seeing that in this clip that you just showed me. Like, I think they're playing with rocks, just passing around
and singing, and even dancing in the course of doing that.
Oh, it's
a game they are playing, and I don't even understand how the game works, but it's a game, you know, these children love to play. It brings them so much happiness. Yeah. So the thing I was back to, we are Africans happy. I believe Africans are the happiest people on earth. Now, we are the happiest people on earth but we are also the poorest people on earth. You see, there's an irony there.
Yes.
And this is because, contrary to what we are made or programmed to believe, we think that
Money
getting
buy
more
ha-
material
Yes.
stuff brings happiness. But the truth is, it actually brings stress.
Yes.
Because you always want more.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah, you always want more. So even if I were to give you $1 million right now, today you're going to be happy. You're probably the happiest person on earth.
Just a short time.
Then you want $2 million,
Yes.
and you want to be like Elon Musk.
Yeah.
And that quest or desire to be like Elon Musk is going to bring you stress.
Yes.
Therefore, you are not going to be happy. You are going to be living in misery.
Yeah.
Why can't I get the next $1 million? So you're going to start investing in stocks and all these things. And when the stocks go down, your heart, also, is affected.
Yeah. And also, I think that plays a huge, greed also plays a huge part, or like society, what society thinks as well. Like in this picture, again, they're kids, but I'm seeing that they don't have a care in the world. Like, yes, they go to school, and after school they probably spend a couple of minutes doing their homework if they...
That is providing they have teachers who would even give them homework. Most of them actually stay away from school. That is the sad part of it, though.
Okay.
Yeah, the schools are there, but the schools are run down, totally run down. Some of these schools, believe it or not, are beneath trees. So we call them schools under trees.
Okay.
Where the kids sit on rocks or stones. They don't have desks. They do not have books or So it's very deprived in that sense. But
even regardless of how the school in itself is just a material thing, but it's more of like what is being taught.
Some are not taught anything because they do not have teachers in the first place.
Okay.
So I was telling you about the connection between poverty and happiness, ruralness and happiness. So when these kids or these people, it's not just the kids, live in rural or primitive, for lack of a better word, primitive societies like this, they do not have that desire that city dwellers have for material stuff. Some of them would probably live the entire month and not even earn $1.
Oh.
And they do not see the need to chase after that dollar.
Okay, yeah, because I think I want to believe that they have everything, like food. I see a lot of greenery there, so I would assume that it's near a farm.
Yeah.
Where you can just get like you'll eat cassavas and
yams and all those things.
And you probably have like a few sheep and goats, and that you just eat when you need your protein.
Yeah. So this is basically how a typical rural setting in Africa looks like. It is devoid of stress. That's the number one thing. It has a lot of food, because most of these people engage in farming, crop production. So you read CNN or some other Western media outlet, and they'll be like, the children in Africa are starving. And that, I find that funny, because yes, starving children are everywhere. Even in the United States, you have a significant percentage of the children they're starving. You understand it? So I find it very ironic, or I find it weird that they will say, constantly say that the African children are starving. Yes, we have corrupt leaders, we are poor, but when you go to these rural settings, starvation is not something that is common.
Yeah.
It's actually very, very rare to see these kids. Just look at them. This is like the poorest part of Ghana, my country.
Yeah.
Look at these kids. Do you see any of them looking like they are starving?
I mean, the fact that they can afford to be running and dancing.
It shows that you've got food in your system and you have energy. So
I like this little girl here in the dress who's like with that. She's just like a little boss.
So that is a misconception. So Africa is highly underdeveloped. Most parts of Africa is very underdeveloped. But I believe that Africans have something that most parts of the developed world does not have, and that is happiness. Africans are happier. I can confidently say it based on the fact that I've had the privilege to live in many developed societies around the world that are not part of Africa, mind you. And I've seen it. And I've also had the privilege of living in some of the remotest parts of Africa. And I've been able to compare both the happiness level there. And I realized that the people in remote parts of Africa and in remote parts of anywhere tend to be happier than the people living in the developed or the what we call the cities.
Yeah, and I'm also seeing that if in developed countries we are often worried about air pollution because of the huge number of, let's say, the
factories
and the vehicles and all that carbon monoxide, carbon and all that. But here is, I believe there's not like, you don't have many vehicles passing by, you don't have factories.
Absolutely
so the
not.
air that you breathe is just clean oxygen, and maybe the most unpleasant smell that you will get is probably like the manure from the animals or what, but like it's still clean, you know. It's almost like living on a mountain, and you get the fresh air and the mist in the morning, I would believe.
I lived in a place like this for a couple of months. That was a few years ago, and I can guarantee you that I can say that it's a place where I've never been to any place where the air was as fresh as in this place. And this is actually where I took this footage from. One of my trips there, where, like I said, I stayed there for a while, and I immersed myself into the culture, the way the people behave, everything. I just growing up, I'm used to technology, mobile phones, internet, and you are going to have issues with that because these things don't exist there.
I was just about to ask you, like, how was the whole transition period for you? Because as I can see, there's no, you probably don't get electricity
there's
much, and the drinking water and everything. So how was that for you?
So you need to go to the nearest town, maybe the nearest the town that is bigger than this, or the city, to get some of these things like bottled water, and sometimes you can get it within the community, but it costs a lot.
I see.
And maybe not only like a tiny fraction of the community members would buy it. You understand it? So you normally would have to go outside of the community to get these things. But
and I would believe like the commute would be like a couple of hours.
Not really. Some, like this community that I lived at, I think it was something like 30 minutes to the next town or city. So I would go there and get my stuff and come back and do this. But the point I'm trying to make is that Africans naturally tend to be happier than other people based on
developed countries.
Based on my experience and my travels. The reason is that we do not, most Africans don't have to stress a lot about the things that the people in the West or developed societies will stress about. I see places like in stories from places like Japan, where people are so overworked that they even start to contemplate exiting this world. You understand it, for lack of a better phrase. And I've seen people that have actually gone ahead and done that. I've read stories and
but many of them, they work extremely long hours to even the point that they can't afford to go home. So they have these like kind of hotels, like just for a few hours, just near the office or something, that they go there and then so they spend money on rent, but they're not even at home half the time.
So
and if you ask me, as someone who grew up in a developed country, in a city, if I can even spend a day in this beautiful village, as maybe a couple of hours just for visiting, but if you ask me to stay overnight, I don't think I can.
It's understandable. It's more of like taking a fish out of water and expecting it to be able to survive or enjoy being on land. It's not
because
going to
even
work.
a simple thing as maybe going to the toilet, it will be a whole different experience as well.
I understand. Even I had to make major adjustments, which were quite challenging. You understand it? Because despite being an African, I never had the opportunity. I'm using the word opportunity or privilege to grow up in a setting like this. I see if I want to believe that these are the lucky ones in the world if you have the opportunity to grow up, live here,
Yeah.
and the rest of your life here, I would choose that over living in a place like Dubai my entire life. Yeah, trust me.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean it. I'm not,
yeah.
but can I go back and live there? No, I can't,
Yeah.
because I've been programmed to live in a city.
I get it.
and
I
all
get
that.
what you mean. This is like pretty much what Mother Nature has given you. So they're just basically enjoying nature as it is. When you have, like you said, the word programmed into accepting things differently, like 24-hour electricity, clean water, everything is at your convenience, and you don't have to worry about running after live animals to get them for food and all of that, and like going through the hard labor.
No one actually, let me cut you short there. No one actually runs after wild animals to get, to get food. These are things like the misconceptions, you understand? These guys have cattle, like I told you, majority of them are farmers.
Yeah.
So you got animal farm, which is, livestock.
Yes.
So some have goats, sheep, cattle that they are rearing, poultry. You understand it? Some also do crop farming, maize, millet, yams, cassava, you name it.
Yeah.
You understand it? So they are not primitive to the point or senseless to the point where they do not know that they have to, grow these things. Because it would take only, extreme foolishness to wake up every day and go to the jungle to look for meat when you could grow it in your community. You understand it? So these people do not every day wake up and go into the wild or to the jungle and look for food. The food is right there. They grow it. You understand it? They do not have to go miles looking for that. The only challenge they have, I would say, is that some of them, not all of them, is the challenge of potable water, drinking water. Because some of them actually sink wells. But the wells tend up, and some of the wells would dry out.
I see.
Dry up. So it makes water, and some also have boreholes, but sometimes, they'll malfunction and the water wouldn't be flowing.
What's boreholes?
Boreholes is like we call it a borehole. Borehole.
Okay.
It's kind of like a mechanized well.
I see.
So a well, not the normal well would require you to drop a bucket into a pit and pull it.
Pull it out.
Yeah, but this is kind of mechanized. So you kind of use a lever or whatever, and you keep, and the water comes out from the.
I get it.
Yeah, so some of them have these, but some do not. Do you get it? But that is, of course, some of the disadvantages of living in a place like this.
Yeah, I mean, like with every place, be it developed or developing, there's always going to be pros and cons.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So, like here, definitely the one massive pro is that the stress levels are low, your happiness levels are high. You get to breathe fresh air. Your children get to be kids. I believe you have this sense of community, where everybody's looking out for each other.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and in a developed country, you get all of these convenience and stuff, but
you don't know your next door neighbor.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We do not know our next door neighbor, and then with the rise of smart devices and everyone's in their own world, so our mental health is also
heavily impacted.
Yes, decreasing. Our stress levels are up. The level of competition just keeps increasing as well. Because, like you mentioned earlier, the example of having $1 million and then you want another $1 million and more. So that whole sense of wanting more and nothing is ever enough.
Yeah, the constant pursuit of success.
That alone creates a whole level of stress. And I believe also in these developed countries, we have a lot of cases of premature deaths.
Actually, let me correct you there. Actually, the lifespan of the average African is shorter than that of the average Asian or European. Now, this has a lot to do with our poor healthcare system.
I see.
Going back to the corruption
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
the highest level.
yeah.
So had they just fixed some of these things, we wouldn't have to deal with that. So these people, normally wouldn't live very long lives,
Oh.
depending on their lifestyle. So maybe a simple illness like malaria can just,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
especially with the young ones, the kids. So that is one of the biggest challenges that these communities face. But I see there's a change because now some of them are having these community clinics popping up here and there, and teaching them the basic things they can do to maintain a healthy life. And mosquito nettings and are being provided. So if you look at some of these mud huts, you will notice that the entrance has some netting.
Oh.
Which is a mosquito net that prevents the mosquitoes from going in there.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's some positive progress that is taking place in these places. But yeah, they are of course still very, very rural, very primitive, very backward. So you see this picture in front of you, and the first thing you would think is that these people do not have happiness in them. Yeah, you would instantly think like that.
Yeah, I'm clearly seeing the opposite because, No,
let's take away, let's say, the kids there, and you see the hut, the mud huts and all this, without the people in there. And your first assumption is that these guys are living in hell.
Yeah.
But I go to a place like Marina Bay or, where?
What?
Dubai Marina.
Oh, yeah.
Burj Khalifa, these great places, Switzerland, Geneva, Zurich, some of the most beautiful places in terms of artificial beauty, artificial beauty. Some of the most developed places in the world. And I see people who are empty.
Yeah, sometimes you can even see it in their eyes already because the whole body language is just negative. Not really negative, but it's down. It's like it's lacking that.
They are not living.
Yeah, the energy. You're almost like a walking zombie.
Yeah, but this is a case of a zombie in a very developed society.
Yes.
Dressed properly in their suits, in their Rolex watches and all that. But deep down, they have nothing. Like they are empty.
No
there's this hollow, void in them. But I go to remote places. I'm not just in Africa, in places like Vietnam, Thailand, the remote parts, and you see that that emptiness is not there.
Yeah.
You get it. So that is what I noticed, and that is why I said that Africans tend to be happier than most other people, because in Africa we've got more remote areas than we do, cities like Dubai and all that.